Hello everyone and welcome to the Beijing vlog. Once we safely landed in Beijing, got a good night's sleep, we headed straight off to the Summer Palace in the morning. That was a really interesting area. They had a lake that was handmade by 1 million people who dug out the land and filled in a small mountain next to it where much of the palace was built. It was really cool. We walked around the area, saw all the different buildings and structures where the emperors used to be, and then we took a boat ride from the other side of the Summer Palace back to the main entrance where we came in. Once we did that, we had a nice lunch and went on to the Hutong district. That was a really nice walk. We got to see a lot of the residential area where a lot of group families live, and they kind of had shared living residences, and it was a little bit cheaper area for people to live in Beijing. Once we finished that, we headed off to the bell and drum tower. The towers were kind of interesting. They had these stairs that were almost ladder-like. They were so steep. When we got to the top of the drum tower, there was supposed to be a performance, and we missed it by a second, and unfortunately the next performance wasn't for another hour, but we stuck around to watch it. But so not to waste time, we decided to go back down the tower and go to the bell tower, which is just a short walk away. Once we finished looking at the bell tower, we climbed back down. We went back up the drum tower. We ended up climbing a lot of steps that day, but it was well worth getting to see the drum performance. They were really great, and the whole building just kind of vibrated when you were in there. Once we finished that, we headed off to the Kung Fu show. Unfortunately, I can't video anything in there, but it was an amazing performance. I have a few photos. Make sure you ask the guys about the performance if you see them. It was definitely worth the show. We weren't sure if we were going to enjoy it or not, and it was an amazing show. The next day we headed off to Tiananmen Square, and the biggest shock to that was just the sheer scale and amount of people that were there. I think our guide said that day that almost 80,000 tickets were sold. It was an enormous amount of people, and one of the kind of fun things that happened all throughout our trip was people would take photos with us, and we had quite a few people in Tiananmen Square also wanting to take photos. Matt was quite popular and getting a lot of photos with just all kinds of random people. Our walk through Tiananmen Square took us straight into the Forbidden City, and we walked from one side of the Forbidden City straight across to the other side, and we were able to see all of the different areas where the emperors had their wives, and all the living quarters and the thrones. It was a really interesting area, and just an enormous structure. The sheer scale of the area was unbelievable and really hard to show in any video. It's kind of something you need to see to really get the scale of things. Once we finished the Forbidden City, we drove down to the Temple of Heaven, which was not far from our hotel, and we got to walk through there and see some of the more holy sites that the emperor would go and visit. We had a good time, and it was a nice relaxing day as kind of a wind down to prepare the team for the competition coming up. After the Temple of Heaven, we got another good night's sleep, and the next morning we checked out of the hotel and went to the shopping district. Again, we ran into some more people who wanted photos with us, which was great. And this shopping district was more of like a huge mall area, and they also had a few side streets that had all kinds of interesting food like scorpions and fish on a stick and meat on a stick. I'm not sure what kind of meat, but it was well-cooked, deep-fried meat on a stick. It was really interesting. The shopping district was the final stop we had before checking in for the competition. Once we finished up there, we headed over to the competition, and we'll try and get that vlog out as soon as we can. The competition's actually already happened at this point, and the results are posted, but we will try and get a video log of that at some point in the next week or so. And thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate your support. And the next time we talk to you, we'll be registering the team and looking at the pre-competition portion of the trip. Thank you everyone.